May the words of my mouth and the meditations of all of our hearts be acceptable in thy sight, O God, who is our rock and our Redeemer. Amen. God's voice thunders, and the earth melts. Ooh, how does the earth melt? Does the earth melt like a swooning lover? Oh, that melts my heart. Does it melt like metal and fire, like that which is hard becoming liquid? Is it the ice of the earth that is melting? The glaciers? The voice of our beloved God speaks, and the earth melts. The intensity of God heats the earth. The truth makes me think of Moses, who had to turn away when God passed by. Moses' experience of God was so intense, it left him aglow. So much so, he had to wear a veil. When we enter into that heat, we too melt. When the fire of God blazes on the metal structures of our lives, we discover that that which we thought was immovable can become soft and pliable. The heat of saunas releases toxins from our body. The heat of divine love releases toxins from our world. It dissolves our toxic instincts. God dissolves the death instinct within us. God disintegrates our instinct to use aggression and violence as the only means to achieve our group's security. God hinders violence. God hinders warmongering. God brings it to naught. Psalm 46 says very clearly, God brings war to an end. This is not because God is out doing battle, conquering everyone. Rather, God models another way of operating, breaking the bow, snapping the spear, burning the shield. God disarms us. Our beloved's voice thunders, and the earth melts. The earth changes, the psalmist tells us. The seas roar and foam, the mountains shake. What lasts amidst this chaos? Not violence, not war, not aggression. What endures time? The way of humility. Be still and know that I am God. Our beloved advises us. I have often understood this line to mean, be quiet, maybe meditate a little, and then you can connect with God. Yet this week, as I studied the Hebrew translation, I discovered its true meaning. Release your grip on people, places, and things, it is telling us. And trust in God alone. Go past the ego and know God deeply. Be deeply known. Yes, be still and know. For the Hebrew word for still is rapha. Rapha means to let yourself sink, to let go of your rigidity, to allow yourself to become weak, to be weak, to throw off all pretenses of strength and become feeble, become vulnerable, become real. Rapha is more than stillness, it is surrender. Be still and know that I am God. The Hebrew word to know is yada. Yada means to have intimate knowledge of someone. Be still and know that I am God. God beckons us to position ourselves vulnerably and honestly as we tell the truth about our growth areas and allow ourselves to receive help. In this process, we discover an intimate and satisfying relationship with God. Be still and know that you are loved. We find shelter in the arms of our God. As we do, we discover the humble way. All else may totter and fall, but the humble lifestyle remains anchored in truth. From where does our healing come? It does not come from the Department of Defense. It does not come from our bank account. It does not come from a brute display of power. Healing comes from the humble way of Jesus. Jesus entered the world in a dingy animal barn, taking on the life of a homeless person. Jesus went place to place without a house and counted on others to supply his needs. Jesus responded humbly when he encountered difference, reaching across the sexism and ethnocentrism of the day to learn what it was like to live as another. Take the example of the woman at the well, where Jesus sat down and chatted with her, though the rest of the town had casted her out because of their sexist ideas. Another time, as in the case of the Canaanite woman, when Jesus did make an assumption, he was willing to change his mind, to remain open to the people around him. At the end, Jesus didn't call on others to crucify his enemies. Instead, Jesus said, "Take up your own cross and follow me." In other words, assume responsibility for your own inner work. Take responsibility for your woundedness. Ask for help. Be changed so that you do not unconsciously hurt others. Take up your cross and follow me. Jesus shows us how to place the way of solidarity, empathy, humility, and accountability at the center of life. Be still and know that I am God. Our beloved Coos. There is something about the healing process that includes a release, a loosening of what was held tight. The release can come to us in simple ways as we breathe intentionally, as we walk, or even cry. Crying too is a healing release. It strikes me that when Moses asked God for God's name, God simply said, "I am who I am." In Hebrew, that is Yahweh. However, in biblical Hebrew, vowels are not written, so it is YHWH. That name, Yahweh, is in our psalm. Since Jewish people don't speak the name of God, Yahweh, it is translated as a capital letter, Lord. Today, our psalmist writes the name of God twice, YHWH, giving us a key. As Marianne Blank reminds us, scholars and rabbis teach that this is a sound of human breath, YHWH. Just try making those noises. How do we find release? We can start with something as simple as breathing. A humble way is a simple way because God is already with us. The earth melts. What does not matter melts away until only truth remains. The floor is lava. The earth is lava. It is not hard anymore. It is soft and hot, moving and magma, fluid and changing. We thought the earth was solid. We thought the earth would never shake. We did not know it could move. Suddenly there is movement where we did not think there would be movement. That is true inside of us. Just like the core of the earth is molten magma, our insides too have fire and heat. Sometimes I think of the earth as solid, and I forget at its heart is hot liquid, melted and burning. Everything inside the earth has been melted, just as the psalmist said. We center ourselves via gravity around a melted earth, a soft earth. It is just like the humble lifestyle, which is warm and malleable at the heart of life. This is our refuge, the hot core of God's love. This hot core is accessible to all of us. It warms us beautifully. It changes us. It softens us so we can release what we hold tightly. Seas foam and roar, mountains shake. Sometimes our life itself crumbles. Yet there is always sanctuary in the arms of God. This place where love endures. This place where we can peel off the layers and show God at last our real and trembling selves. This place where we can be still and known. This place where we have intimacy with God. In this sense of love, the earth melts. Our defenses at last are disarmed. Here, God is our refuge. God is our joyful pinnacle at the last. Amen.